Hey, it's Orit, and today we are talking about the 3 common causes of intimacy avoidance in relationships. So I'm specifically creating this video for you if you have experienced past trauma, but you're with a healthy, loving partner today, and you're still avoiding intimacy. Let's talk about the 3 reasons why this is happening and why past trauma might be causing this. So the first reason is that you have been hurt in the past. And because that is actually where your original trauma happened, right? When you got hurt, when you're open, you let your guard down, you were just kind of living your life, and bam, all of a sudden you got abandoned, you got rejected. Could have happened in childhood, maybe later in a relationship, or maybe both. But all your body knows, all your nervous system knows now is that all closeness, intimacy, and relationships end in hurt. And I better not let my guard down. I better not let go of protecting myself, because if I do, I'm going to get hurt. And no matter how many words you use to try to tell yourself a different story, that is stored inside of you non-verbally and subconsciously. And so it's being stored in your body, and there really aren't any amount of words or journaling that can release that. Now, the second reason, which is very closely tied to the first reason, is that you have a fear of rejection. So a lot of people might have a fear of rejection, but when it's caused by trauma, it actually rewires your nervous system to look for every danger sign that you could potentially get hurt. So if your partner leaves their socks on the floor, then they haven't picked it up for 3 days. All of a sudden, it's like, why don't they care about my needs? They don't ever care about me. Nobody loves me, right? It just gets totally blown out of proportion in a very intense and quick way. And this is how you know it's trauma being stored in your body. It's like, even at the littlest things, like your mind can know that it's the tiniest things, but you feel rejected. And so my partner won't even pick up the socks from the floor when I ask them, and they don't care about my needs. They don't do anything for me. Yeah, of course you're not going to try to be intimate, because that story that is stemming from your old trauma, that is your fear of rejection now, is just, it's just taking front and center in your relationship, and you don't want to risk getting hurt again. And number 3 is that you and your partner aren't always on the same page. So if you want to, or if you've experienced initiating sexual intimacy, for example, and your partner has said before, I'm not in the mood, let's try that again another time. I remember when I hadn't healed my trauma and this happened to me, and my partner would want to do it at night, and I would like it in the morning. And so we were not on the same page, but I would take that as such a betrayal, and make up a lot of stories. Why doesn't he love me? Maybe he's not attracted to me anymore. What is he really thinking? Why doesn't he really want to be intimate? And it's like, my trauma was just creating so many stories around this, to the point where I stopped trying for a while. I stopped trying until I healed my trauma. And this can be far more than sexual intimacy. It can be just, physical closeness, right? Like, I want to cuddle with you. There will be many times where I'll say to my husband, like, I really want to cuddle. And he's just like, I just want my space right now, or I'm too hot and sweaty. And now that I've healed my trauma, it's like, yeah, I understand. It's not personal. It's fine. But back in the day, that was just heartbreaking. And so it's easier to avoid intimacy than to really deal with the confrontation of basically your trauma triggering you, your past trauma triggering you over and over and over again today. Because if you always felt that, you would know that you need to heal it in order to let down your guard and stop building walls, and actually let your partner in. And not just let your partner in, but approach your partner with an open heart, and with openness, and with almost like, you got to be daring in your relationship too, in order for it to be exciting as well. And so if you're in a kind of a stale place in your relationship or your marriage, that could also that intimacy avoidance, you avoiding initiating any sort of intimacy can also contribute to that. And so if one or more of these causes are happening for you, then it's a really good indication that you are storing this old trauma in your body, and that you are operating on the belief that all closeness, all love, all relationships end in hurt. And in order to truly rewire your nervous system to be able to break that pattern and let in healthy, lasting love, and to not avoid intimacy, you have to do that work through your body and movement. And in my free Rewired for Love training, I explain to you exactly how this needs to happen and how you can use your body and movement to heal your trauma in a way that truly lasts. Because we have worked with many, many clients who have done years, even decades of talk therapy. They've done, spiritual energy healings, EMDR, you name it. And until they've come to work with us, until they have done this work through the body and movement, then they're like, wow, that was the missing puzzle piece. That was everything I needed to actually break the pattern. And so if you're interested in learning more about that, I highly suggest signing up for my free Rewired for Love training. The link is below. And until next time, you deserve to be able to let healthy, lasting love in.